All right, today is, what's the day, y'all?
March 29th.
Saturday, March 29th. And as I told y'all, we're going to be doing this barbershop episode with all the fellas here, right? So I'm going to introduce y'all. I'm going to introduce y'all first. Sean, the owner. This is my homeboy Raymond I was telling y'all about. That big Sean over there is another Sean. Robert, a customer.
Long time customer.
And young man Brian right now, he getting a haircut. And I'm gonna get my little shade going on. But we're gonna talk about some topics, right? Everyday topics. And I'm gonna start it off with, what should I start? Women? Relationships? Or should it be the economy?
I say start with the economy.
The economy. So we're gonna start with the economy according to the boss man right here, the one with all the money.
That makes sense too, man.
What'd you say?
Speak on money before women.
Yep, cause money coming for women.
There you go.
So y'all hear that right? Money coming for women. So I'm always talking about how I'm not really making the money like I want to make. What do you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking?
I just started my third contract, delivering furniture.
Delivering furniture. For who?
A place called Metropolitan.
Metropolitan. You a truck driver?
Yep.
So you're on operator.
Owner operator.
So you're delivering furniture. How's the business? Is it booming? Is it like it always been?
Well, I just started, so it's fun. It's something different compared to what I used to do, contract wise, and it's different. You get to meet different. You go in different locations.
You missed the question. The money.
It's good. Can't complain.
So the money still?
Yeah, it's still good.
Still good.
Can't
I'm
complain.
in the wrong line. Hold on now. You from Mobile?
Well, I'm from Georgia.
But you live in Mobile. Where you run out of?
I run out of Mobile. I run out of here. Warehouse in Loxley.
Damn. And what's the name of it?
Place called Metropolitan.
I ain't never heard of them.
Yeah.
That's the name it's always been?
As far as I know, it has been.
Metropolitan, a furniture company.
They deliver furniture.
Is it by Standard? You know what Standard is over there in Loxley?
It's by Imperial Dam.
Man, I ain't never heard of that.
And Home Depot.
Well, I said, like you're a barber. Do you feel like your business is as steady as it always been?
I mean, not steady as it always been. I mean, of course, like, so my business is kind of predicated upon the economy from the perspective of if everybody else is, doing good in their businesses, then mine can be good too.
Yeah.
So, I have to kind of pretty much go with the flow where they come in myself. So, yeah.
So I think, so do you think the economy overall is better than it was 4 years ago or worse?
I think it's better than it was 4 years ago. Well, let me say like this. I think it was better than it was 4 years ago.
I asked that question wrong.
Yeah.
That's my fault.
Yeah.
I phrased the question wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, just say 4 years ago, before a certain guy got in office.
Gotcha.
We're gonna say Biden. Before Biden got in office, how did you like the economy under the first Trump?
Economy was much better. Much better.
All right.
It ain't close. Yeah, it ain't close.
Now keep in mind, you black.
Yeah. As far as, let me see. Yeah, as far as I know.
I'm glad we here. I'm glad we here. I finally got my witness. You know I'm gonna go right. They don't believe that I hated Trump.
Yeah.
This is my witness that I was telling y'all about right here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a black, because y'all like to give us a label, black Trump supporter. If you're black, you can't just be a guy that voted for Trump.
Yeah.
He looked at me like, oh,
Wait, we know.
You a Democrat?
Yes.
And we got a Democrat in here. We finally got one that's willing we can chop it up with. And we're going to have grown folk talk.
Oh, this shit finna be good.
No hate, no,
Nah.
cause normally we can't talk amongst each other, civilized. I have people, I get death threats. Yes, I get death threats. I can show them to you.
Ooh.
I get called sellout Uncle Charmin Coon. And a whole bunch of other.
Well, everybody had their choice. I mean, it's just...
No, you can't have no choice. If you're black, you can't have no choice. You gotta be Democrat and nothing else. Right or wrong.
That's how they go.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
That's
Well,
how
you
do it. Why
don't give a fuck.
I mean,
I know you don't give
That's
a
kind of
fuck.
how they do
Well,
it. Though. I mean,
that's how they do it.
that's the standard narrative. Like if you ain't vote Democrat, then yeah.
If you're black.
If you
Now,
black,
if you're white, you can vote whoever the hell you want to vote for.
yeah.
But experiencing, see, you ain't experiencing it, and I didn't know it was like that until I went from being a Democrat. I didn't know it was like this.
If they vote their interest, everybody else, they got
Everybody
they have
else.
to get to vote their interest of that particular group.
So
or
how-
them personally.
So have you ever heard white people arguing with white, because you work with like white folk, right?
Yeah.
Are they all Republican? They're a mix, right?
Yeah.
And do you hear them arguing amongst each other about, you a sellout, you voted for the Democrat, or whatever, like,
And they swap parties too, just depending on the agenda.
Yeah.
for that year.
That's right.
But we can't do that. You don't know it because you're still a Democrat. So you don't know how the black people will treat you if they find out you ain't a Democrat no more.
I just don't talk about politics like everybody got their opinion on it. And when it comes to politics, people want want to get in a heated argument. I'm one of them.
They want to kill me, man.
I'm one of them. Like, hey, you choose what you want to choose. I choose what I want to choose at the end of the day.
And that's the way it should be, right?
And honestly, to me, as long as you vote, you vote. But we got a lot of people that don't vote. We got a lot of us that don't vote. And you know what I'm saying?
Well, my boxing coach, I got, I'm back into boxing. I talked to him yesterday, and he don't believe in voting.
See, like,
But I ain't gonna say nothing to him about it because he'll whoop my ass. You know what I mean? But he don't believe in voting at all. He think because he said who you voting for. Both sides ain't shit. Ain't none of them running the country,
both of them crooked to an extent.
and they sold out to the corporation, the Democrat and the Republican. You hear Democrats talking shit about the Republicans, talking about where they being ran by the millionaires and billionaires. But you got billionaire Democrats that's running them. They all answer to the corporate money, though none of them answer to us, according to my boxing coach. And I ain't gonna tell him otherwise.
Well, at least he's saying that, okay, they both ain't no good. Rather than saying that,
One
well, it's
goes-
the Republicans
or it's the
and not the Democrats.
Democrats.
He's saying they both devils.
Right.
Well, that could be fair, but I mean,
Yeah.
if we
It is. To
It
the-
is.
It
Yeah,
is.
definitely to an
but
extent. Both of them crooked to an
but I
extent.
mean, if we gonna be honest about it though, when have we ever had a presidential candidate ever that Republicans and Democrats, like basically establishment politicians? Trump is the first president ever that establishment politicians on both sides went against.
Don't like him.
The establishment politicians. That's what I'm
The
saying.
Republicans and Democrats hate him.
Like, when have we ever experienced that ever?
This is the first time.
So
I kinda find that
For me being in this world, I'll say first time I can experience it, that a lot of folks vote them in, and a lot of folks now saying, realize, why we get them in here? Well, I mean, you vote now.
So you're a Democrat. Why?
That was just something.
Because I'm an independent. Now, I'm not a Republican either. Let me tell you where I stand.
That was just something I was told, so even with me dealing with politics of my own, I don't dab in it too tough. It's just, for me, I would say, I do my best to vote for who's gonna do what's right.
And what's right?
Hell if I know.
No, but that makes sense though, because I mean that was most
That's what we all voting
that was
for.
most of us.
Yeah.
We all vote for what we think
It's
is the
right.
person gonna do
What's right.
what's right.
Even though I know back in mind, they may not be able to do exactly what they say, because you got other folks that's gonna tell them, hey, this is what you really gonna do.
Right.
You tell the people what you want to, what you say
What they
you
wanna
gonna do,
hear.
what they want to hear, but behind the scenes, what you get here, he finna tell you how to run this show. So I say I do my best. I don't deal with politics. You say, hey, to me, both of them crooked in their own ways.
I've always voted Democrat in the past, man, just based on the fact that I was always just told
Yeah, I would say if it was
that's who black folks vote
Vote for,
for,
so you
and I
gonna vote.
trusted the source of the information
Which was who?
without never
Who
investigating.
was your source? Like most of
Basically,
us.
well, most of folks, man, it'd be our mom.
Your mom.
And then it'd be our aunts and
Aunties,
other, and then
yeah.
it goes to the pastor and whatnot. And I just trusted the source of the information
To go.
without investigating.
without questioning, just say, okay, Democrat, or I'm gonna vote for a Democrat.
But when you investigate it, though, once you get older down the line,
If you investigate, what happens?
you start seeing the real deal.
well, what you find is that, you know what I'm saying, the Republicans are not who you were told they were. Not the, and the same is with the Democrats as well.
What you told about the Democrats?
Well, the Democrats were for black folks.
But
Supposedly.
so what I heard was the famous phrase.
And what you
I
told
heard
about the
was,
Republicans?
Democrats is for the poor.
And they hated,
That's what I always heard.
they were racist. They didn't like
They were
black
racist,
folks.
Okay, what you heard about the
I
Democrats?
always heard they was for the poor folks.
What
And so the poor was us. That's what I was always
But
told.
I heard black folks because you have poor whites that vote Republican.
So they were for the poor black. The reason we black were
Well-
voting for them because they were for black people.
Yeah, well, for us in the sense that it wasn't necessarily about they was gonna help us come up, but the thing was they were gonna help us to keep our head above water, to keep the racist Republicans from crushing us even further. That's what the idea was. And that was
So they weren't gonna help us get on our feet.
no.
They were just gonna protect us from them damn Republicans.
That's all it was. Yeah. And the Democratic politicians was y'all need us to protect y'all from these racist Republicans.
Even though they white and racist too. But we didn't think about that.
No, who did?
When you trusted the source of the information.
My mama.
That's all it was. Yeah, you trust and that was the majority of our community.
And mama always knows best, right?
Yeah.
Huh? Always.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Always.
And again, this is my witness right here. This is the guy I wanted to beat up.
Uh-oh.
Y'all remember? You
Oh
remember?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Y'all my witness, right? Why did I want to beat him up? This is the first.
And we'll argue you down.
The first black
Well,
Trump
argue
supporter
down.
I ever met was him.
Trump law.
Wait, hold on, wait.
I wanted to whoop his ass. We'll be up in here. It was like they had to separate us because I didn't realize how stupid I was looking. Right? I admit it.
Well, I ain't gonna call you stupid.
I'm calling you stupid.
No, I would just say misinformed. I'm gonna say that.
Know what I mean by
Mama said knock you out.
nah? What I mean by stupid is I was like mad at you.
Yeah.
It ain't that I was misinformed and I was wrong about thinking the Democrats were for us. It's the fact that I wanted to argue you down and was getting mad because you're a sellout. I call you sellout, man. I said it was a sellout like y'all do me to call me the bitch, but cause they call me sellout without calling you a sellout. And they don't believe because of how hard I go now that I was ever a Democrat. This the man I was telling you about that I wanted to put a hand. I wasn't, really.
Yeah.
But I was just that man. I was mad.
Help me.
There you go, man.
I was mad though, man. I was mad because he was a Trump supporter. And T, he ain't here, and B, there were three of them in here. And I couldn't understand it to save my life, but then I think when the economy tanked, when my money started being funny, is when I started noticing, hey, something ain't right. Now, we were just, we were booming.
It started with your job.
Right, it started with my job.
Yeah.
We were booming. Working on Saturdays, working all day long, every day. Then I voted for Biden. A year in, I'm needing help. So that made me start like looking at some things. And then I started listening to you a little more, and you were talking about them little sound bites they play, what the media will play.
Yeah.
You know, they manipulate you. They'll play certain things on the news or whatever. They could depend on what you watch. Cause I was heavy on DL Hughley. I was a big DL fan.
Yeah.
Roland Martin, the same people I can't stand now. I used to love them. Now I can't stand them because I realize, but it's my fault for letting them manipulate me. But I used to love them, and now I don't like them because, man, y'all fooling the shit out of me, man.
Well, that Barack Obama finesse, he got all of it, man. Can't nobody lie. They got all of it. I watched him go in the White House with my son next to me, man, and I was proud. I was proud. As a black man, I was proud.
Damn. You and your son, did you cry?
I ain't cry, but I was proud, though.
They need to see
I
you
was
say
proud.
that. Let them see. This is my man Raymond right here. This is my homeboy
But they
Raymond.
were proud, too. Shit,
y'all
we all were proud. We all were proud.
What about you,
man.
Bird? This is my barber right here, Bird, but he finna cut me because Bird too busy. But that's Bird right there. He was going to the store when I introduced everybody.
We got in an argument, me and you got in an argument about Barack Obama.
No, I love Obama.
And I was saying.
And you figured them out before I did.
I figured out it was a hell of a finesse too. I gotta give him that.
Wait. I like that terminology though.
What?
You figured him out.
Yeah.
He did.
It was one thing about
So me and him arguing about Obama because I'm still on the Obama train.
Yeah.
And he done caught on like I was arguing with you about Trump.
Yeah.
Y'all figured that shit out before I did. So, and when I'm loyal. If you my friend, you know what I'm saying, and if we fall out like we had, you know what I'm saying, I apologize to you because, you know, it was some bullshit. Me and him been friends for what? 90 something?
Since the 90s, late 90s. We're
Yeah.
probably back further than that, 96, 95, somewhere.
Yeah, because we used to work out at Total
Yeah.
But you just told everybody you gonna whoop me, man. You ain't apologize to me yet, man.
Man, you ain't no Colado.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm
That's
gonna
all
fall
right.
out with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna fall out with you.
But it was the Barack, and I'm gonna tell you what it was with him, man. Like with the whole Trayvon Martin thing, and it was other incidents like that, man. I understand you the president and all, but just as a man and as a black man, I didn't see that righteous anger in him that he should have had.
Well, I'm gonna show you now.
He was worried about pissing off white folks.
But I will say this now, and I don't know. Can I say something about
Trump show righteous anger.
One real quick.
You say what you want to say, long you ain't cussing.
All right, so check this out. Now, you may not agree with me with this, but I see that the Trayvon Martin situation, and this is one of the things where I had the conservative views I got. The biggest problem I had with the Trayvon Martin thing was not George Zimmerman, but the fact that did nobody say not one time, Trayvon on that phone, don't call nobody but your dad. Call your dad. Call your dad. Don't call get off the, if you're on the phone with somebody, get off that phone and call your dad.
But who did he call?
The girl. He's on the phone with the girl.
I think he was already on the phone with her.
No, but it's nothing
You saying he should have got off?
Get off the phone and call your dad. And I had a problem with black
Maybe he
leaders
didn't
and black
understand the
politicians.
severity of the situation.
No,
He was, when he was,
I get it, he was
14?
a kid, but I get it. But what I'm saying is
You don't think it's somebody who out there that'll kill you, man, just because you went to the store?
No. I don't mean to kill you part. What I'm saying is, if you believe you in danger, call your dad. Your dad, you in your dad's neighborhood.
Maybe he didn't think he was in
Supposed to
danger.
call.
Well, he
But-
told the girl that creep followed me.
Yeah, that's what he said. Get off the phone and call you. And all I'm saying is this. Now listen, I'm upset about
Because he at his dad's house.
Yes.
So dad, the girl ain't gonna be able to do nothing.
You gotta call your dad. And I was hurt by the fact that nobody brought that up.
I assume the worst was somebody following me. He should have done the same.
He did.
I don't think he thought.
No,
I don't think he
told
thought it was
the
a
brother
life and
creep
death
following
situation.
you. I mean, he turned around and struck first. Like they had eyewitnesses showing that he struck first. What I'm saying is he knew the severity of the situation.
I know about that.
I'm not blaming the kid. This is what I'm saying. I'm not blaming the kid. What I'm saying is nobody else brought that up. Basically, what I'm saying is it's that attack on manhood kind of stuff. Like nobody actually brought that up. Like nobody said, well, why didn't he call his daddy? The person who could have actually done something about the situation before it got to that point. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so
But was that as important as the fact that the man they hadn't been there fucking with him no way?
Stalking him. He was stalking him.
Listen,
You
George
can't
Zimmerman
stalk
was
folks.
150% wrong.
Right.
I got the right to get off on you if you stalking me.
But this is my point. That's why I like to have this kind of conversation because when I be talking to us. I'm talking to us.
Yeah.
I ain't talking to George Zimmerman. You see what I'm saying? I'm not. If I'm talking to somebody about race, I'm not talking about a racist that's supposed to do what a racist does.
That's what they do.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking to us. So what I'm saying is, if I know if I believe that somebody's racist, I'm gonna call my help.
I'm glad you.
And nobody actually brought that up. That's what I was hurt about. Like nobody said, well, why didn't he call his dad? Like, so say that so other young men can hear it, as opposed to just be on your guard and be like, so what? All 14-year-old boys now supposed to fight when they feel threatened by a racist white guy? Like what the dad is for? We fathers.
If he got a dad.
If he got a dad.
And he had a dad, but most of them don't.
But you are a father. Almost every man in this room is a father. Mm-hmm. And every man in this room, the first thing we'll say is, son, why my son ain't called me? If you felt like you was in danger, son, call me.
And I'm right here.
So what you're saying is that the better move would have been to just get away from him, go get your dad and let your dad go man to
Yes.
man confront him.
Yes,
I
that's
can,
what I'm
I can get with that.
And,
I can
and,
get
and
with
what I'm
that.
saying is nobody actually said it.
And if it come to gunplay, then
I'll
so
take
be
them.
it.
So be it. That's what I'm saying. I'll take the bullet
Okay,
for
so he
myself.
would have been
No,
better.
ain't you taking it now. He gonna take it.
It's but you understand what I'm saying? If it come down to me or my son, you go that way.
You ain't
say,
saying
man, why you
shot
fighting my
him.
son?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so now I get what you're
And the
saying.
cow probably would have ran had he seen his daddy show up.
That's my point.
Because that's what Kyle would do.
So he should have ran. I would have just got the phone all together and ran home
Ran to my dad.
instead of confronting him.
Exactly.
Run home.
Exactly.
Cause you already, unless you ain't got no other option, cause you're already in the neighborhood where you live.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the cops. So you ain't running from the cops. You running from a creek.
Yeah.
So how all that? Yeah, that makes
Go
better
get a
sense.
man for a man.
Yeah, go
That's
get a
what I'm saying.
man.
That's what I'm saying. And I was upset that none of those leaders, like all of the leaders.
Even though it would have been too late for Trayvon to do that, at least you spread it on to the next young man to know what to do.
Yes, because that was the perfect time to highlight fatherhood.
That's
and they didn't do
that's
it.
my fight. As your father,
Yes. Yes.
that's my fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look,
Come get me.
I had an incident similar to that with my wife. She was called the locksmith. By the time the locksmith got there, she had already got the keys of the car. She was at her job. So because they got the keys, so she on the phone with me and she say, well, I got the keys out, but he still want me to pay him. So I said, well, where are you now? She said, well, I got in the car and I just left. I said, so listen, this is what you do. Bring him to me. Don't stop. You drive tonight. I ain't saying running on red lights, but what I'm saying is, don't go home. Don't come to me. When you get here, come straight into the building, and I'm gonna be outside waiting for him. You get out. You go in the building.
But just for his viewers, Zimmerman was wrong. We all agree that.
1,000% wrong.
It just would have been a much better story and a better ending had he went and got his daddy and let his daddy
Handle the situation.
Yeah.
put his foot where it goes.
So even though it's too late for Trayvon to do that, that's neither here nor there. But for any other youth that might be listening and find yourself in that situation, if you have a father, a safe place to get there.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Don't
my point.
confront the person that's following behind you.
Exactly.
Run.
Exactly. That's exactly my point.
You ain't gotta be, I ain't no punk. Man, what the hell you following me for? You know, all that,
Yeah.
Run. I might run. Shit. And
But as a father, every father in this room would want their son to do that.
yeah,
That was every father in this room would have wanted to happen.
that's what I would want to do. Well,
Yeah, I would, because I would want my son to deny me of the opportunity.
To whoop his ass.
To put my foot where it goes. Don't take that from me. Don't take that from me.
Yeah.
Especially knowing how bad he probably want to whoop his ass now.
Yeah.
And now, and now, not only your son gone, but you can't get to him.
Speaking of the races and us,
And I'm not racist, by the way. Now,
well, you never know deep, but we ain't worried about that. What you say to what y'all say? Your opinion on how you feel about asking your enemy to help you. You know where I'm going with that?
I do.
For those who don't know where I'm going with that, my people, black people, have a bad tendency of expecting who y'all call our enemy, the white man. They won't do this for us. They won't help us this. They removing black history from school.
Which they not.
But they not. But even if they was, why we expect them to teach us our history when you claiming they our enemy?
Yeah, if that's
Right?
what you say they are.
If you really believe they our enemy, why you expecting your enemy to educate you in any form about anything that's gonna benefit you?
And why would you expect? And why would you beg for that education from your enemy without the understanding that if your enemy gives it to you, it's gonna hurt you?
Right.
The damage is coming from the enemy. Yeah. I mean,
So
if I was gonna feed my enemy some food, that food gonna be poison.
Well,
If it's my enemy.
yeah.
Is what I'm
But they say these people I'm talking about, because a lot of people are mad that I don't hate white folks.
Yeah.
At one point in time, I thought all white folks were racist. You know, like we used to talk about that all the time. I thought every white person was racist until I got to know some white people that helped me.
so you know what I'm saying? So in other words, Cause I do.
You think all of them racist?
No. I ain't saying that, child. I'm saying that it's some folks that I hate that just so happen to be white, but it ain't because they white. It ain't because they white. No. It ain't because they white. See, it's important to point that out. It's important to point out, you know what I'm saying?
They just ain't good people.
Just because you don't like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't because they white.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
They
got
just
some
happen to be white.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cause it's some black folks, I don't, you know what I'm saying?
But I gotta be honest though, it don't help the fact that they white too.
That
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
cause we already got a history.
that's right. And that can't be ignored. So, you know what I'm saying?
I ignore it because once I'm crossed, it's just a cross. It don't matter what it is. Like for example, I'm saying like this, like, just say if I get passed over for a promotion and I know I deserved it, I don't care if it was a white guy that gave it to his white his white buddy, or a frat guy gave it to one of his frat brothers and they black.
If
I got crossed, he wrong.
If a stranger walk up to you out on the street and slap you dead in your face and call you a nigga, now if it was a black guy to do it, you still be upset. Y'all probably get it on. But if a white guy did the same thing,
It's extra.
yeah it is. That's all I'm saying. It is.
Now when he say he slapped you and then put the
Especially if you
word
put the
on-
hard ER on the end of it. On top of
no,
it.
but what I'm saying is, but he give me that.
You feel like it's coming from a different place.
Well, I mean, I know where it's coming from. That's what I'm saying. I know where it's coming from.
I'm gonna give both of them the business just as hard though.
That's what I'm saying. The slap is
I don't
it's
know.
the
It's the
slap.
slap.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
It ain't the why.
I ain't heard the word after that.
That's what I'm saying. It's the slap.
Now, with that
I don't care why. When I
yeah,
say
you're right, they both gonna get whooped. But
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing it for the ancestors with that other one. I ain't gonna even lie. I feel like I'm y'all.
Hold on, so basically, if the white guy slapped you, you hope he used the N-word with the R-E-R. You hope that's what it is.
Well, now I don't hope
You know what I'm saying? He slapped you and be like,
You don't hope for
he was
racial
looking at my
encounters.
girl.
You
You know what I'm
don't
saying?
hope for racial encounters and nothing like that there, but I'm just saying you can't deny like just the history and whatnot, man. And all that come back. The black dude, I think he slapped me because he think I'm soft. But the white guy slapping me, man, it feels more like a you know what I'm saying, an insult to an entire race.
A whole race of people.
So I got
I don't see
to
it
so I
like
got to put on for my folks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that.
I mean, I
If you being honest,
yeah.
but I understand it. I just don't. It's just, for me, it's just the offense, period. For me, I don't care why he did it. It's just the offense. If he slapped me, he slapped me. I don't care why he did it.
So-
It's me.
So what you think about all this outrage about the DEI then? We talking about, like you just brought up about the promotion. And you don't care if it's a white man who, now in my opinion, they're supposed to do that. If I'm white, and not if I'm white, but if I see a white man, and he had a choice out of me and his nephew for a position, I ain't tripping behind nephew. I'll be pissed off because you know what I'm saying, but I understand.
Just be honest about it, though. Don't you know?
Nah,
I
they
can
get in
take
trouble.
honesty.
But they can't be
They
honest.
can't be honest about it.
I can take honesty. I can take honesty, man. But
I wouldn't be honest about
But
it.
when
If
you
I
had
hired my nephew, I ain't gonna. I'm gonna lie and say he was just more
But would you
qualified.
tell another guy he deficient in some way or something like that and try to talk his resume down?
No.
That's the part I don't like.
I just say the guy I hired, you know, is more qualified, even though it's my nephew. The problem with us is we mad at them for doing what we should be doing, but we ain't in a position to do it because we ain't. We got millionaire black people. They ain't opening no businesses for real. Not the kind of businesses that's going to employ a bunch of, you know, like grocery stores. Oprah don't have a grocery store. How do she?
Do you know DEI though? DEI, man, initially it was primarily, you know, for black folks. But do you know, like, gays get it? We get illegals that get it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it seemed like...
Obama claimed it was for black folks,
I don't think it ever was.
but it never was.
I don't think it ever was.
He started that shit in 2011, and it was supposed to be because they did away with, they killed, George Bush killed, what's the other one? Affirmative action. Not that far illegally, but he killed it as far as didn't have, they gutted it. The way it was like what they call a toothless lion, it didn't have no power. So Obama came in his attempt to fix it, without pissing off white people, he didn't call it affirmative action.
Who done finessed us more than Barack? Just think about it. Just, if you could just go in the annals of history.
The Democrat Party.
No, we talking about a singular person.
Oh, a single person.
This was pulled. This been a one-man heist that was pulled off.
Man, I knew I
Think
loved
of somebody. Think that you
I think I know where he going. I think I know where he going.
on black people.
Yes. Just as a cat, all us coming at some point we was all in the streets and we was pulling like little, you know what I'm saying, scams and stuff like that. Just that part of me almost kind of got to give it to that nigga, man. Boy, he finessed us all. That was
it him or was it the whole system?
He was a good salesman. I don't think they could have. He was the right man for the job.
I think I know where he going.
He was the right man for the
I
job.
think I know where he going.
They just try to give us comma.
But she wasn't as good as he was.
Shit, look at to the people that love her, right? The
No,
women.
I ain't never seen him. He probably the best con.
He talk about finessed.
Yeah.
Everybody, bro.
Everybody.
I voted for him. I ain't voted for Carter.
Before your very eyes.
I'm trying to figure out how did he do it though.
You can't though. Further, can you think of anybody that pulled that over? But him.
But how did he do it? Is it because he was the first black president?
Oh, that was a huge part of it. You almost can't even be mad about when a person pull a finesse so smooth, man, you kind of can't even be mad at him for real, man. You like, man, that was cold-blooded right there.
Go on, give it to him.
That was cold, that man.
Obama did the damn thing.
Yeah, he did, man. Yeah, he did.
He Trump Obama. I think I know.
If I tricked you out of your last $100, but I did it in such a smooth way, the way you were glad to give it to me. When you finally realize you've been had, you gonna laugh and say, "Whatever."
You laugh about it.
He cold-blooded. He cold.
You ought to be mad.
Go tell him who it was. I think
He
I know where
cold-blooded.
Go tell him.
Nobody ain't got him. Ain't nobody got him.
Go tell him who it was.
Who got him?
Who you
I
think
can't
it is?
think of nobody. Who?
No, he said it's Obama.
What you saying? It is Obama.
He is.
Oh yeah.
He is. He is.
Yeah.
That finesse was legendary.
Yeah, it was.
It was legendary. I ain't even mad at that guy.
Yeah, it was.
Now I would say he fixed the economy because we were in a recession when George Bush left.
Yeah. Well,
He turned the economy around. Now they say he ain't do nothing for black people. Is the issue. Do you remember what the economy was when he took over 2008?
yeah, I do.
So you don't remember it was effed up.
I mean, yeah.
George Bush left like 2 days, like it seemed like 2 days before he left. Hey, before I go, we in a recession. All right, I'm out of here. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Like we had no warning. What it was that was it one of them big banks or something crashed?
Yeah.
Who was it?
I remember the bailouts.
Yeah, but it started out with like one of the big banks. They were talking about it too big to fail.
It wasn't Goldman Sachs or nobody like that, but
It was
I think they crashed too.
yeah.
oh man. I wanted to say it was Chase.
But I think why when they say that he didn't do anything in particular for black folks of any significance is because he received over 90% of that voting block's support. Not even no matter
That
how
Democrat
small,
period though.
yeah, no matter how small your population is, because the Asians, you know what I'm saying, they don't have the numbers like that there, but whatever party they give over 90% of their support to, reach back and give them something specifically just for them, just because the way you guys showed up in numbers for it.
You looking forward?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Him being the first black president was our payoff.
They had it was like, it was a brothers in the name, some type of brothers.
Hold on.
But anyway, when George Bush left, the housing market crashed, the automobile market crashed, banks crashed. He had to bail out all of them. The housing market, the cars, that when they had the cash and clunkers thing. You know what I'm saying? It was like in a year's time, man, everything was turned around. And then we rolled like a whole 8 years of both his terms. when the economy was good, ain't nobody deported more illegal immigrants than Barack Obama. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Now, Democrats talking shit about Trump now. But Obama deported way more than him. They call him the deporting chief. He was getting their ass up out of here. But he don't get criticized from that because, he's a Democrat. Now they talk about Trump and the families, and I was one of them too. He low down, dirty, he just come over here to, I can't believe I was saying that dumb ass shit. And folks come over here to work. You found it?
I couldn't find it. I'm looking up. I'll keep looking. Keep talking. I'm looking.
So that's what happened, man. He fixed the economy. He fixed the banking system. Well, at least I'm giving him credit for fixing it. Maybe they just fixed it, they got it. You know what I mean? Maybe there was all some type of scam anyway. Who knows? Cause you never know what to think about these people nowadays. But you say he ain't do nothing for black people.
No, I said he didn't do anything of any
Significant value.
and it showed wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
No tangible like we can point to and say this was specifically for us.
Not
Nothing.
substantially. Not nothing substantial.
I agree with you on
Not
that.
nothing substantial, you know what I'm saying? And hey man, you know what I'm saying? But he's the first black president, you know what I'm saying? And for whatever that's worth, you can hang your hat on that.
I was down, diehard Democrat all my life, man. Then now, and people don't believe to this day, they think I was like this all my life. But I'm not a Republican now. I'm not voting no more, to be honest. You gonna vote again?
Well, my vote is they call it my vote is for sale to the highest bidder.
Mine is too now.
To the highest bidder.
Ain't nobody bidding for our vote though. Nobody bidding for the black vote because our vote is actually worthless. You feel what I'm saying?
I think it can swing. I think it helped get Trump in, and it was just a small percentage of black men in particular. Probably like maybe a 10% swing this way or that way, because it comes down to little margins when it comes to
Lehman Brothers, I think. It was a big banking institution.
If you could just, what happened was, as a Republican with Trump,
Look at what caused the 2008 economic crisis, recession or whatever.
he was able to take away maybe 15 or 10%
Of the black vote.
of the black vote.
So they went from 95% to like
And
87.
that's all it takes. Is that fragile?
Yeah, the Democrats got the majority still of the black vote.
But I'm talking about just a 10%, 15% swing that way could change it all.
Now, let me ask you this. Do it look like we're doing it better?
But the man ain't been in office, man. You know what? He ain't been. I like the way he been talking. I think he been talking. I ain't gonna say I like the way he been talking, but it sound a hell of a lot better than what Kamala was saying.
What?
Trump.
I'm tripping on the fact I ain't the only black dude in the barbershop that don't think she was talking about nothing. Who was it? Lehman Brothers, that's it.
Yeah. Well, they know she wasn't talking about nothing, but they was going for that. They was going for the whole Barack Obama symbolism thing all over again.
Symbolism.
Think about it, man. First black woman. You tell them, girl. You go on. What would Martin say? Catchphrase was.
You go, girl.
Yeah. It was that. That actually should have been her slogan, her campaign slogan.
Should have been you go, girl.
Yeah.
You hear that, Kamala?
Oh no! Oh, boy, look. She might have got my vote. Oh,
You
man.
go, girl.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah.
So you voted for Kamala.
Yep.
Why?
First
Give me one thing you like
He
about it.
telling you.
First black woman.
That's it. The rock thing again.
That basically.
Shit.
Democrat.
Hey, man. You my homeboy.
I'm just being honest.
No, you a Democrat, because I don't like Democrats.
Yeah, I'm just being honest.
I don't. I like you. Because you're a real dude.
Oh, I'm just being honest. I mean,
And you don't give a damn what I think. You know what I mean? Nobody.
honestly, you know, we all come from winning. So, I mean, first woman president, take a chance. We got the first black man. Why not give a black woman a chance? See what she can do.
And that's what they was banking on. Right there.
You know what's funny about that though?
That's why they picked her.
Yeah, and but I like what he said though. Give her a chance.
Give her a chance.
Because no, I'm saying, but no, because this is the funny thing. So, I remember when Trump was campaigning first term, he said, "Y'all been voting Democrat y'all whole life. What y'all got to lose by voting for me?" And they was insulted. And like they was insulted.
By him saying, give him a chance.
Yeah. Man, basically that's what he was saying. Like, give me a chance.
But see, she got the whole sister girl, black woman angle that he can't use.
True.
Boy,
All the way up to them greens in that tub, man.
huh?
Them greens in that tub, man.
They still wasn't offended.
She couldn't sell it though like Barack. She couldn't sell it like him.
She ain't black.
And that's probably what it is. That's
Hold on,
probably what it is.
But they still think she black.
No,
They sold Hillary Clinton hot sauce in the purse on the breakfast club. They sold that.
I ain't
and
buy
they
that.
bought it. Look,
I know.
well, you ain't.
I
we
did.
ain't buy it. We ain't buy
And
it.
I voted for Hillary still, but I ain't buy that.
We ain't buy it.
I still voted for her because she was a Democrat.
A lot of people bought it. A lot of people bought it.
Not
Oh,
only that,
no.
not only that, she was
A lot of folks bought it.
looking at their resumes
Hold on.
at the time.
Well,
She had a better resume.
But y'all don't remember them.
Trump's
y'all don't
resume was
remember-
better than Kamala's.
Now Hillary was better than Trump's,
Absolutely.
but Trump was better than Kamala.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hold on, but so none of y'all remember Bill Clinton getting touted as the first black
The first black because he got hit in the White House.
No, he the saxophone on Arsenio Hall and all that
He
stuff.
had a lot of other black
and he hit the weed.
He didn't inhale.
But he didn't inhale.
Right.
He didn't
That ain't
inhale.
the same. Get it right.
Allegedly he hit the weed.
I'm a Bill Clinton fan too.
Yeah.
I never bought that though either.
You think Bill Clinton was a good president?
I mean, at the time I was young, so yeah. Now,
Then looking back on it now, we had a balanced
I don't
budget.
necessarily think he was bad, but what Bill Clinton did do, people don't ever talk about. He fired a lot of government workers too. He shrunk. He fired a lot.
That's how he balanced the budget.
Yeah.
Same thing Trump trying to do, but they demonizing him.
Yeah.
I made a video talking about how Bill Clinton did the same damn thing. Cricket. They don't say nothing.
People don't want, but see that's the thing. I mean, when you start to disrupting people peace by unraveling them truths that they've unraveling the lies that they've been holding on to as truths for that long, man, that stuff get dicey.
Well, Bill Clinton, you know what I'm saying? Like, be honest, like a lot of folks, they look at it like a popularity contest, like almost some high schoolish type of stuff. To where Bill Clinton, he when you look at your typical president, he was considered cool. He was considered cool. He had
Down to
flavor.
earth.
And we had flavor and style and different things like that there when you compare him to other presidents. And a lot of folk were picking just based off that there, like we're in high school or something.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to think about where we were, and where the country was at the time. I mean, if you can, I mean, it's politics just work like that. If you can be relatable to the people, if people can relate to you, then
We wasn't as woke back then either.
No, but who cared about it?
You thought Barack was cool, didn't you? I did for a minute. I thought he was cool.
Listen, I love Barack.
I thought he was
Man,
cool.
when I saw that dude running
And that had a
around
lot to do with why I voted for him.
that basketball, bro.
Oh, he playing basketball. Oh, it was over with.
Yeah. He could quote a few goddamn, a few Al Green songs and stuff
He
like
could sing it
that.
too.
Yeah.
You voted for Barack?
I did the first time. Yeah, first time, yeah.
That mattered to me. I thought he was cooler. It did. Until it didn't.
And he was black.
On top of that.
Yeah,
This is the first Kamala supporter I heard admit he voted for her because she was a black woman. You ever heard one?
Now they won't come clean, but they know deep down. They know that what it is. And it's alright to just say that.
Because do you know any policy that she came with?
Huh?
Any policy that she came with, you know anything she said she was going to do that you like?
I didn't keep up with that one. I'm being honest with you.
That's right. You did it for Rosa Parks and Harriet Tubman and my mama and them and all that stuff. Hey.
She was a black woman. I'm saying, hey, give her a chance. Let's see what she can do.
Even though she ain't told you nothing that you can say, she might be on to something.
And she ain't black, but we look at it. A lot of folks look at it and say close enough.
I mean,
They look at it and say close enough.
I mean, I say that because, you know what I'm saying, I got a half sister, but in my eyes, she's still black. And she got black blood in her sister. Even though she got a white mom, she's still black.
But her daddy black.
But my daddy black.
That's black.
She black.
She ain't got neither one of them.
You show her daddy. You show her daddy black. You know how.
Come on, daddy.
My daddy black. My sister.
No. Her
Your
daddy.
sister daddy black.
Yeah, my
Her
sister
dad
black.
is what's her daddy from? Jamaica.
But that's
Shit, that's
Jamaica.
black enough.
no,
No,
he's not a. You got.
Jamaica is not a race.
You got white folks in Africa.
Yeah.
You got white Africa. Elon Musk is African.
Jamaica is not a race.
South Africa, he's an African.
You have white folks that been in Jamaica for hundreds of years,
You seen her daddy?
and some of them are dark skinned.
Her daddy look like Habib
He's a darker Indian.
at the gas station. You know Habib?
Yeah.
That's
Some
what
of
daddy
them
look
be
like.
dark. Some of them be darker than me and you.
Right, Habib over there.
Yes.
Well, you got Habib at every goddamn corner.
Let's say, yeah, you do, though.
And I can show you something, man. Black as bird.
Hey, I came across something that looked like they could be black.
Look like they black, but they Indian.
And that's what she is.
That's what she is.
We just said, a lot of us said close enough.
Cause that's what they put on us. And they knew we stupid enough, well, a lot of us stupid enough, to vote away our life just based on race.
They know she ain't black. They just said close enough.
Let me ask y'all this though, because I'm just curious about this though.
You know that she's a woman. Why not give a woman a chance to run something? See what she gonna do.
I know women that said they wasn't gonna vote for her because she was a woman. They don't feel like a woman should have that much power. They're not a handler because they work with women that ain't got that much power and they pure hell.
But I ain't feel like that.
You
when
ever
were
worked under a
around.
woman?
Oh yeah,
How they act?
same way. But hey, but
Pure hell, right?
But still, you got a mama, don't you? Got an auntie, you got a sister.
My mama whooped my ass.
My mama did the same thing. I got aunties.
She had power over you. Did your mama whoop everybody's ass?
Nah,
Or just the ones you had power over?
nah, she slacked up my brother and sister. I'll say that much.
It's gonna be a woman president one day.
One day.
She just want the one for the job.
That's it. We'll say
And
that.
that's what it is.
The lady she was running against, Tulsi Gabbard, would have been a good one.
I thought Hillary would have been a decent
Yeah.
president. So they ain't against women, they were just against that woman.
That woman. That's what I always say. Why did y'all vote for her? That woman said she washing greens in the tub, homeboy.
Yeah, my grandma washed greens in the tub back in the day. Yeah.
The tub you take a bath in?
We had a spare tub outside, you know, you go.
I ain't talking about that tub, like a foot tub.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta
The
do.
bathtub.
All our grandma put greens in that foot, and it was not a foot tub, but
Foot
that
tub, yeah.
But that what it was, but it was for that.
For that.
It was a kitchen.
Appliance.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point in time, you gotta use what you got.
But the
You gotta use what you
bathtub.
They
got.
was soaked
You gotta-
potatoes
you
in there,
gotta do what
too.
you gotta do.
Yeah. But not the
You know, it's just for
We
everybody.
talking the bathtub in your bathroom, man.
Hey, if I had to, I'd do the same thing.
Ain't nobody soak no greens.
You
You
wanna-
ain't got that many greens.
You not offended when folks come around you with their black scent. See, I don't like all that stuff there, man. Just talk how you talk and be yourself. Don't come around and see that I found that offensive. The little black scent, how she cut it on and off.
Yeah. You better thank a union member.
Yeah, she cut it on and off. It sounds forced.
I mean,
She a politician.
But he admitted he voted for her because she was black, not because she had no
You
ideas.
don't hear like, let's say Trump or none of them other guys.
I mean, when you
with
go
a
to
black
work,
scent.
I'm saying when you
They
go to
be
work,
themselves.
every day, you got to meet these customers. You got to put on that you can't be the hood person when you go into a white person's house. You got to come to where they can trust you, come to their house, and respect you and come to their house, bringing something to you. So you can't become hoods all the time. You got to come. You got to flip the switch.
You supposed to go
hey,
up.
how you doing? How you doing? My name's so and so. I'm here to bring your package. They're already looking at you sideways because you black.
So
You got.
So it's okay to
you
go
got-
talk
you
to
got-
the hood dude
you
like,
got-
hey, yo, you know what I'm saying?
Even though you don't.
Even though you don't talk like that.
Intelligent black folks find that offensive.
I mean, you know, you got to play your. To me, we out here in the workforce, business force. They already judge us because we black, tattoos, hair, all that right there. They already know. They think what they gonna see. But you got to show them I'm not that person.
Let me dumb myself down. I'm going to talk to some black folks.
But I used to think about that a lot though. This is kind of what I always wonder. Is that just the truth, or is that perception? Like, I think, you know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, to me, it's like I'll take it for a job situation or for a job interview. You know how many jobs don't want us on a job, don't want us as a management, as a position. So you know, so you got to play your role in the sense of, hey, if I want to provide for my family, for me, I'm gonna do what I got to do to get this job and produce funds, take care of my house, to get to a level
That you want to be at.
I want to be at. I want to be successful in my house. I ain't studying that racist bullshit. Ooh, excuse me.
No, that don't count.
I mean, I ain't studying. I mean, it's out there. It's out there 24/7. But guess what? I gotta show my sons in my car right now that how I can uphold myself and not let them get to me and let him see me. But I gotta show him how to handle myself in a situation. Say, okay, I know they're gonna be racist. I know they're gonna talk like trash. But I'm not gonna disrespect myself in front of my son, in front of them. I'm gonna come to him way like, you're gonna talk to me like a human being, one on one. I ain't gonna talk to me like trash. But I feel like you good, I'm walking on, we're gonna shut down.
Let me ask you a question.
But at the same time, I'm going for a job interview. I got to say, like I'm talking to y'all know, I go to a job interview, I'm gonna meet this white guy, whoever. Hey, how you doing? My name's so and so. How you doing? I got to play a role, let them know I'm intelligent. I'm not no dumb black person. I got enough sense to know you don't like me, that's fine. I don't care about that. I'm just here for a job. You hire me, I'm gonna do my best. My ability
How old
to
are
do
you?
my job. I'm 41.
In your lifetime, you've been around plenty of white people, right?
I have hands-on had a guy that was running a mechanic shop in my box truck with a flat tire. I need a tire, and I got money to pay for a tire to put on my box truck, get to my house, get to my family. This man here was like, I don't take care of your kind. His son, same age as my son 15. My son 15. It's hurting me right now. I'm finna tell you right now. I'm being real with you right now. This dude here, I'm coming off Mississippi with a blowout tire, limping, trying to get my behind to the house, see my children, my 3 children, my wife. And let me tell y'all, this man here, I pull up, blow that tire, limping, trying to get in the driveway. I get in the park, I get out the truck, and I feel the vibe. I feel the vibe on that, in that.
And you was in Mississippi.
I was halfway back to Mobile. I was in Theodore, part of Theodore, come from Mississippi.
Okay.
I had to take the side road off the interstate.
There's some good old boys out there.
And boy, let me tell you, I got the truck. I felt the vibe. I see some older white people right there. I assumed he was the owner, and see this young boy, same age as my son.
It was a tire shop?
Tire shop. I'm walking up, and I'm just like, I feel the vibe. I said, okay, I don't know how it's gonna go, but all I gotta do is take a chance. Say, hey, I need a tire, and I'm got money to pay for my tire. The son say, hey, sir, how can I help you? I said, I need a tire, and I'm looking at the tire for my truck on the wall behind the boy. Daddy come out, and the dad was doing something. He come around to the son. Oh, we don't treat your kind. Daddy didn't give a damn about who I was. He off the rip didn't care. That man said, I don't treat your kind. What? Son said, Daddy, he need help. He said, I don't care. And took his son and was backing away from me. Let me tell you, I was this high for a moment. I felt this doggone low. Do you know I had to walk, turn around, look at the other folks. They just standing there looking like, well, you own this shop. I had to walk away. I had to walk with shame. Shame, brother. And you know I carried my pistol. I carried my pistol with me.
But why was you ashamed though?
Because
he should have, he wasn't ashamed. You ain't do nothing wrong.
No, I'm finna tell you. I felt ashamed because I wanted to jump out my skin and cuss him and whoop his ass and talk to me like that. Because right then I said, okay, now you treat me with pure racism.
Not shame. That ain't what you felt.
Well, now I ain't say shame.
Cause you wanted to be able to whoop his ass and you couldn't. Cause you know if you would have, they're gonna take his side.
Of course. It was just the fact that.
So what would you call that feeling when you want to whoop his ass so bad, but you can't?
It wasn't shame. It was my pride. My pride dropped.
Wouldn't you prefer honest racists, though?
I mean, he was honest. But the fact of the matter, his son.
As a man, I got to respect that, though.
And I respect
to an extent.
But at the same time, the son showed no racism whatsoever. The father flat told me, I don't treat your kind.
Well, it's his business. I respect your.
And I did. And I was saying I had to walk. I feel like I had to walk with shame. I was like I was mad, but I couldn't. But the fact of the matter,
I'm glad you said that.
There was the fact of the matter, I had to deal with that bullshit. And I'm like, dude, I said, dude, I got money to pay for a damn tie. Give me a tie, and I'll be out your way. He said, I don't treat your kind. And I had to get back in my truck and limp to a shop at least 5 miles away. White guy running the shop. Never black folks around there. He said, brother, I don't have a tie for you. And I said, man, I just left the shop. And as soon as I said the shop I was at, he said, He said, I'm so sorry you had to deal with that.
He already knew.
He already knew. He already knew.
But the white man down the street wasn't like that.
No. And the fact of the matter, I was on my phone crying to my wife, telling her, I deal with it every day, but the fact the man was being honest, face to face, but I'm saying the son was same age as my son, 15, 14, 15 years old, saying, Daddy, why we can't treat this man? Dad say he's black and I don't treat his kind.
Let me run this by you. I had the same experience, but it wasn't with a white man. It's this place out here called Metal Brothers in Theodore. They do the place I showed you that do the metal work on old school cars.
Fabricator. Yeah.
And when I had my hood blew off my old school.
I remember that.
So I go out there to get him. I heard, he all on Facebook like he do good work. So I went to do business with him. Get out there, it's a Mexican. I ain't gonna say Mexican, he Hispanic. But it's a bunch of good old boys work there, and he's the owner, but he Hispanic.
Chill on out, man.
Now we got, this for all the black people that's Democrats, that's defending to me how we doing, like how Trump doing these illegal immigrants wrong. Deporting them, and they just want to work and feed their family. In other words, you standing up for illegals, Hispanics or whatever they are. What I'm trying to tell y'all, they don't like us either. The same experience you had with a white guy, I had with a Mexican dude that owned the shop. That he don't serve it all kind. I wanted to whoop it, but he had, my car was there. So, and then it's a bunch of good old boys and a Mexican that want to be a good old boy. Cause a lot of them they try to identify with white people.
Trying to.
White people don't accept them. But because they want the benefits of being white. So they don't want to be, they want to be black in America. So this Mexican treated me worse than any white man ever have. And for discrimination. Metal Brothers out here in Theodore, Alabama, treated me worse than any. I'm gonna ask you this question: have you ever been called the N-word?
Oh yeah. By a few of them.
I ain't been called the N-word.
And I was at the
What about
time-
you, Sean? You ever been called the N-word?
Yeah, I was a kid though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you was little.
But it was another. But it
I'm
was.
saying as an adult.
No, but it was another kid. Like I was about
You have
8. He was
an
8.
adult call you N-word? Was they drunk?
No.
Damn.
I was saying, we deal with it every day.
About it,
You ain't care.
yeah, I mean, even to this day, even if you drunk, mad, not mad, don't want to serve me and call me one nigga or nigger, I just don't care. It don't move. Them words don't move.
And that one, it ain't got no power.
Yeah, just,
It kind of hurt them, not hurt them, but it ain't get the effect they wanted.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I mean,
I'm about 21.
imagine this though. A white guy telling you he don't serve your kind and he'd rather miss that money and stay in his
And I pulled out this
But
pocket. I
this
pulled
is
out
my
my
point,
pocket and
though.
said, hey, I had the money.
You got white people that would rather die than to let you, as a black nurse or whatever, work on it.
But we would do, but we do the same thing in certain places. Not us.
Not
but I'm
us,
just talking
No,
about-
we don't go that far.
No,
now.
I don't
We're
mean
gonna
us.
die.
No, no,
And
no.
I say good riddance.
No.
That's what I say.
No, no, no.
I say good riddance to them.
No, what I
We're
mean
gonna die.
is, I've had older people that might like older people in the sense like, well, they won't eat food if it's prepared by a white person.
Oh, you ever got black racists
Don't
now?
trust-
Yeah, I mean, you got something, but I
Yeah,
know
but-
something.
Or is
like
that
that.
racist or they don't trust white people?
Maybe they don't think it
Well,
don't taste good.
No, they don't. They
No, no,
say they've
what
been
I-
touching
what I-
that from
what
a
I
black
mean,
person.
what I mean is this. What I'm talking about is that their hate produced the same outcome. What I'm saying, what's the difference?
The hate is hate.
Yeah, so I mean, because hate gonna lead to mistrust. So I mean, what's the difference in the outcome?
You don't go to white restaurants, man, because they white. It's because you know that damn chicken ain't seasoned right.
But no,
That's
I
why
don't.
it ain't cause they white now. Come on now, you know what I'm saying? You know that food ain't seasoned the way we do it, and that's all right.
No.
What white restaurant we got around here?
They
Cause
got
even,
some southern cooking white.
but it be black folk cooking.
Yeah, majority of the time.
And if the food good, they got black folks in the kitchen.
If the food is good. And every now and then you got some white folk that got a reputation for throwing down too. But more than likely though, if that food busts and you know who in that kitchen. But I'm just saying,
Like it's a food. What's that place over there? Over there.
The diner.
Yeah, what's the name of it?
Which one? You talking about the one on Cottage Hill?
Yeah.
Big time down.
Big time down.
The fact is black folks in the back cooking the food is an admission by them they damn self.
Big time down, man. The damn dressing was so good. The cornbread dressing. But it's white folks out front. I'm like, you know, white soul food like restaurant. The dressing, cause you know they cook that stovetop shit.
But see, I just look at that stuff. Like,
White folk, they like stovetop stuffing.
but I just look at it like it's the hustle. Like I just look at it like the hustle.
I ain't mad at them. Shit, the fact that they hire black folks is good for us, cause you put to get us jobs.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, but all of it is the hustle. Like what I'm saying. Okay, so I had a business one time. My goal was to hire young people because the business was centered around young people.
Yeah.
That's just the hustle. What I'm saying is this, and a lot of times, and even with the stuff that do be racism, a lot of times, man, I think a lot of, well, I'm gonna say that do be racism, but the stuff sometimes that appears to be racism, a lot of stuff just be based on our perception of how we assume that we perceive. It's
Yeah,
like,
we cry wolf a lot now.
yeah, but it don't even necessarily have to be crime. What I'm saying is, if I perceive that this is going to be the situation, I'm going to go into the situation with that perception, I might get that outcome. If that's
Even
the way
if it
I
ain't.
perceive- even if it ain't. What I'm saying is a lot of times.
What he went through was really racism.
No, it was real life. Because I mean,
Right, it wasn't no doubt.
Like I said, he
The man told you.
Like I said, he was honest. Like I said, the son was asking daddy, but why you can't treat him? He's a customer. He said, I don't treat him kind, and that really hurt me more because he was bluntly honest versus hiding. He was like, I don't treat your kind. I'm like, well, damn. Even though I got money to pay you, you got what I need. He's like, I don't do that.
Thank you, man.
I did, but my flesh wanted whoop his goddamn ass in front of them folk. But I knew if I do that, I'd been click locked up, been over with.
Don't get on into
So how it is, and then it was crazy. I got home when I finally got my tie fit, got home. My oldest boy, he went through the same thing on the job. And I was trying to explain to him, but what it was, I'm trying to explain to him how you.
Hey, I'm gonna have to let my father get this money, man.
And yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm on.
Hey, bro, you got him.
Go ahead on, man. Yeah, what you were saying though.
But yet, I'm trying to tell my oldest boy.
Bald head and then
I'm
hit
trying
with
to
the
tell my oldest
shield,
boy how to handle the situation. And yet, I went through the same situation, and I was like, okay, if I just told my oldest boy how to go through this, now how am I gonna handle this situation? Cause my oldest boy, like, I'm ready to fight this goddamn white boy. You know, he was on just got hired on the job, and dude talked to him like pure trash, just because the old dude from Mississippi somewhere, honky tonk. You know, he realized country bunking. He was like, man, he would talk to me sideways. I don't take that. You know, he turned a lot younger than us. They ain't gonna take nothing from nobody.
Yeah, they ain't putting up with it.
No, they ain't putting. So I was trying to explain to him. It is next day. I went through the same thing. I said, now how I'm gonna handle the situation. I just told him how to handle it. So I had something pride. Like, okay, I'm trying to teach my son. You know, I'm trying to teach.
That was real racist.
No, that was.
I think when we came to realize though, a lot of us, man, that then jumped off the Democratic bandwagon. Is that guy that you encountered?
He's still on it.
Yeah, well, he gonna get there. Like, hey, look, but see, like that guy you encountered, he's actually less harmful to you than a racist Republican. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he would, you know what I'm saying? Because
A racist Democrat.
yeah,
The Democrat more dangerous. Because you think they for you.
What was he? Because they more
And they
covert.
feel the same way the other
They
dude
more
feel.
covert with it. I'd rather be in my face and bring it to me in my face so I can see it out ahead of me. Instead of you putting this goddamn veil over it.
And behind the scene, without telling him about it. I would say he was honest. I was just mad. Well, okay.
But the Democrat you vote for feel the same way.
And like I said,
The white one do.
Yeah, and I'm just going by.
If not even
years
worse.
of
worse.
good. Like, I'm just going by. Hey, this was mama, auntie, grandmama.
But at some point in time, we got to start thinking for ourselves. And we're not doing that.
But I kind of look at it like this. So just imagine, like, say,
So you're an independent then, in other words.
I'm independent. I don't like Republicans either.
And that's the route that we need to be. I think a lot of
Whoever
us.
gonna buy my, like you said, my vote for sale.
That's right.
This time the Republicans bought my vote.
Yeah.
With the economy and whatever, that he gonna fix the economy. I believe he can fix the economy. If it can be fixed, which I don't think it can be now, but.
And
I
stop
think we
giving
too far
all
gone.
those benefits to them illegals and whatnot.
And getting the illegals out of here. So I voted for who gonna benefit me in my pocket, and I believe it's him.
Look, I kind of look at the parties kind of like this, and it's just the way I see it. So I kind of look at America like, say, okay, America just this big old banquet going on, and you got black people in the back of the building. They can't, and they ain't out front, and all of the Democrats and Republicans out front. Politicians. And so the Democrat politicians, you gonna come back there in the back and tell the black people, yeah, man, there's steaks and lobsters and shrimp and all kind of exotic foods and stuff out there. I'm gonna look out for y'all, but stay back here because they don't want y'all out there.
They don't want to be seen in the front.
So it's a lot of people. So it's a lot of black people in the back.
So everybody in front is the politician, Democrat, Republican.
Politicians from
When he
Democrat,
said the Republicans gonna probably do like the
black
did
people
you
in
at
the
the
back.
tie shop.
Let him finish.
To be honest with you.
Hold on. I heard that.
So the black people in the back. So he gonna say, okay, it's a lot of stuff out there you can choose from. Smorgasbord. So the Democrat party, he gonna come back there with, he gonna 4 cookies. I know it's 50 of y'all, but split them amongst y'all. Cause they don't want y'all out there. If it wasn't for me, y'all wouldn't even be able to get these 4 cookies.
I love when folks say right there, it wasn't for me.
Okay.
They ain't nearly that generous.
So he gonna come back
ain't nearly that
again.
generous.
So he gonna come back again, be like, okay, I know it's 50 of y'all, but I got 1 T-bone. Split that T-bone amongst y'all. Gonna go out there, he gonna come back again. I got a couple punch. I know it's 50 of y'all, but split this couple punch. Now, if it wasn't for me, y'all would have none of this.
And this the Democrat politician.
Because they don't want y'all out there at all.
That was the Democrat telling the black folks in the back.
Yeah. The Republican politician gonna come back there. He gonna come back there 1 time.
Where's the immigrants and the gays and all that there at this time at the banquet? Where they at?
But
They back there with us or they out there with them? Well, I'm just saying. It matters because they minorities too.
No, I'm just speaking for
They minority too, so it
It's that
matters.
about us though.
I'm just speaking for us. So again,
So in other words, they out there eating.
no, just the Democrat and Republican politicians out there at the bank.
Ain't nobody in the back but the
Nobody
black.
in the back but black.
The Mexicans ain't made it here yet.
Yeah, just us in the back.
We still in America. We talking about the America when it was just us.
Yeah.
Black and white. The old America.
Well, we used to be Republicans though. That was just.
You know what I mean? And when it was just black folks and white folks.
We
The
didn't switch
struggle
over.
was between us.
Yeah.
It was the 60s when we switched over. We was pretty much Republicans for the longest time.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
All right, so anyway, all right, so the Republican politician, he gonna come back there. He gonna come 1 time. He ain't coming 3-4 times like the Democrat Republican dropping stuff off. He gonna come 1 time and he gonna say, listen, there's a lot of stuff out there. I ain't bringing you nothing. I ain't bringing you nothing. But what you can do is take this American flag and go out there and get what you want, in spite of how they feel about you. I might not want you out there either.
Go out there and wait.
But you got the right to go. So just go and play your hand. And the black man go out there and he bump into a Democrat politician that don't like him. And he bump into a Republican politician that don't like him. And he bump into an independent that don't like him. Bump into all these people on the way to that table.
It don't matter.
I'm going toward the table, bro.
Get what I want.
All I'm saying is just don't impede me. See, that's why I don't feel bad about that story. Because he didn't impede you. What I'm saying is, with or without him, you was broke down.
Regardless.
But one thing you didn't do was give money to a racist. He stopped your progress. Okay, so what?
I don't want him to have my money.
That's it. That's all I'm saying. I'm glad I ain't give it to him.
Well, I mean, dude. I mean, like I don't. It ain't that simple.
But
Like,
I'm not saying I don't feel.
Right one whooping at you.
well, no.
I don't blame.
No,
I
but
don't
I get it, I get that,
No,
I get
it was
it, I
wrong.
get it.
It was wrong. But that's sort of been our story, man. You know what I'm saying? We make it despite.
Yeah.
We make it despite
But why we
got so
wrong.
many excuses nowadays?
Because he got a business to serve any and everybody. And I was like, I'm a
But
man.
does he?
No, he got to be to serve who he wants to serve.
That's
That's
what
what
I'm
I
saying.
thought when I pulled up, and I felt the
And that's what I mean by
said,
the perception. That's
I'm gonna
what
take a
you
chance
thought.
to see.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so I would have took the chance to see.
And I took a chance to see when he said, "Hey, the son," and I couldn't understand.
It's against the law though.
I said, "Why?
Yeah,
Why the son thinking opposite of you?"
And so what? Now I'm gonna be honest. What I might have would have did was took my phone out and started recording. Drop my location, start recording.
See me, I was wanting to go to my truck, grab my pistol, go shoot somebody.
Oh yeah,
knock somebody out.
You gonna be right.
But see why? Because
My
he's racist.
anger, don't say for my flesh,
I'm more wiser now to that situation versus then. I'm just trying to get home because I had a long day at work, had a freaking blowout.
And you shot his ass, you never would have made it home.
Almost had a wreck.
You never would have made it home.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Almost had a wreck.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to get home to my family. That's all on my mind. Get home to my family. I don't give a damn how I get there. I just want to get home to my family. But I got to go to work next day. I need my truck fixed. I need the tire fixed. I don't give a damn what you got going on.
Well, you don't necessarily need it, but because I would have, if it came down to it, because our story, man, as black folks, man, is we make it despite of. Even though it's wrong, we gonna make it anyway.
Regardless.
Even if I got to leave this motherfucking truck right here, nigga, and walk home.
The old school black folk, not these modern ones.
If I had to leave the truck here
talking about how we used to
and
be.
walk home.
You think these black folks nowadays are making?
And if I miss work tomorrow, so be it.
My truck.
Okay.
No, I wasn't gonna leave my truck in a place like that. I was going. I jumped. I got back
It's
in
insured,
it.
right?
I don't care. I didn't trust him when he told me I don't treat your conscience. I ain't leaving that here.
Well, burn it up. I get a new one. Thank you.
I jumped in that truck and I drove, left that
Burn it
bug
up,
all
got
the
me a
way
new
down
one.
to the next shop.
But see that's my thing, man. Like, and I know how this sounds.
And at the moment,
it's like this.
But at the
Like,
moment, at the moment, so much was going through my head. And when a man come tell me I don't treat the kind, that did not go well with me.
Well, I understand, but
all of me wanted to just knock him out. But I said, okay, you can't do it. You can't give in to that devil. And I said, don't give in to the devil. Get in your truck and just go.
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you now. How would you have felt if the guy, if it would have been a black guy and say, "I don't service your kind"? Like, what you mean, my kind?
I would look at him. I would just.
People with tattoos. I don't service people with tattoos.
I would do the same thing. Well, I'm gonna whoop your ass too. But how you gonna just look at me and judge me for who I am? Same with that guy did. He judged me for who I was. I don't care who you is. At that point,
it's real unlikely though a black guy was did that.
No, what I'm saying is
I came across one or two of them that did.
He'll go wait till
his judgment was already made
to make your point.
No. He didn't judge. No, he didn't judge him for who he was.
No, he judged for my color.
No.
Which is
color?
who you
I'm
are.
saying he didn't judge him at all. His mind was already made up, is what I'm saying. You just so
It had to
happened
do
to
with you.
really
It's
see
a
a race.
standing policy around there.
He told him that. No, he told him that.
It's a standing
he
policy.
said, "I don't serve your kind." That's the
If it
policy.
had been me,
Yeah.
he wasn't gonna serve me.
And that's what I'm saying. It ain't personal.
But,
That's what
yeah,
I'm
it
saying.
wasn't perfect. But the crazy, the son telling him why we don't serve him. He's a customer.
Look,
That was saying the son had more sense than him to say, hey,
Possibly. Everybody else around there already know. You said when you went to the one a little bit further down the road, he said
already knew.
he knew where you went. Everybody know that. You just didn't know it because you wasn't from around there.
nope.
See, I'm okay with that kind of
And
stuff.
that truck, see me, that's
I'm okay with that kind of stuff.
Like to me, to be
Because I
honest
get
with
it.
you, I know that's how you make your money and stuff like that, and I get all that, but that truck just ain't that important to me.
Shit me.
Damn that truck.
That's my livelihood.
No. I'm saying
for
like
me,
I'm saying like
For me, that's my livelihood. That's how I run my business.
I
And
understand.
I was not to leave
In
that
the
truck.
grand scheme of things, bro, I promise you 50 years from now, when you're an old man in a nursing home somewhere, that truck ain't gonna cross your mind. It's gonna be the time you spent with your family, your
Yeah.
grandkids, that stuff that matters.
But at that moment, all I thought about.
But you got to always have a grand scheme
That truck,
mindset all the
man.
time. Like, you know what, in the grand scheme of things,
Because
man,
if you don't, a moment will have your whole life fucked up.
That's
If you
true.
ain't thinking like he thinking about the grand scheme of things,
at all times.
you could have got, like, what if you would have went on in Austin for that moment?
And I was saying, I
Now-
thought
now-
about it. Oh, I promise you, I thought about it. But I was saying, I had just had a conversation with my oldest boy about that same situation. And at that moment, I was like, I want to get this joke.
That'd have been the last sentence
but-
of your story right
but
there.
I want to get him. But I thought about
period
it.
would have been the
Yeah.
end right there.
Yeah, but I was saying,
Right
I thought
behind
about it. That was about I thought about. I said, how am I going to act when I just told my son how to act in the situation? I said, now, since I told him, now I got to do the same thing like I told him.
You married?
And when I got home, I told my
You married?
wife, and I told them, and my son looked at me, he was like, you just told me. I said, yeah. He said, how you handle it? I said, boy, it took everything in me not to go.
And they gonna
not
be
to.
guys like him on the jury
Not.
at your court date.
Not.
Sitting in the jury. It gonna be some more of him off in the jury when you go to court.
Wait, no.
If not the one sitting at the bench, the judge is.
But
You going to court down here in Alabama.
But this is what I say, and I just don't understand is like, why would I expect if I'm gonna say these people racist. Why would I expect them to operate any way other than that?
I don't expect
I don't
I'm
expect
surprised when
them.
they're not.
That's what I'm saying. If that's what I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
like if I'm gonna say they racist, why would I expect anything else? Like I wouldn't expect nothing else. If it's a war, why would I expect not to be shot at?
You gonna get shot
If it's a
at.
war, if that's what it is, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying that's what I'm saying. If that's the way I perceive it, why would I think anything else?
But I'm saying you're saying that under the assumption that a person would think that all white folks is racist.
But all I mean, but I got some.
See what I'm saying?
no,
Most
no,
folks don't think all white folks are
I'm
racist.
saying, and I got some in my life.
I used to.
But let me ask you this. But being honest though, I think a lot of people that don't think rationally from their like how we talking, most people that don't think two things. Either they think all of them are, or all of them are capable of being racist.
That what they
Everybody capable of being racist.
But everybody's capable.
Everybody capable of being killers.
Yeah.
No. But see, I think everybody capable of being prejudiced. So I think prejudice and racism is two different things.
Yeah.
Because everybody have a perceived notion. If somebody walking towards you, you perceive that person. I mean, like you have a
vibe. So we did that. We call it. You can feel that vibe off.
yeah. But not necessarily vibe. I mean, what I'm saying is you're gonna look at their hat and their shirt and their clothes and their shoes. Like if you're gonna try to assess him to see whether he's a threat or like we all do that. Everybody do that.
Stereotype.
But the difference between black folks, let's just say a black person and a white person, when you're talking about prejudice or racism or whatnot, man, racism is a much higher caliber weapon in the hands of a white person than it is in yours.
Well, I think racism.
He don't believe black people can be racist because we ain't got no power.
No, I'm saying, Eli,
And I've heard that before.
let's just say for the sake of argument that they can be. I'm still saying that it's a much higher caliber of weapon in the hands of a white person.
Why?
Because we live in a society that they run.
They can do more damage with their racism than we can do with
It's a
ours.
much, he understands
I
guns.
understand that.
He understands
I
caliber.
understand that. And it's just like,
It's a 22 in your hand.
Even if you are racist,
It's a 50 cal
you
in
can't hurt
there.
nobody because
It's a 50 cal in there.
A racist judge, he can hurt more people than you can with your racism.
Yeah, and I get that. If it's a racist jail, that's in the hood. I get that.
Or a racist cop.
It's a built-in apparatus already in place for them to exercise it. You ain't got that. You can't inflict no further than what's right in front of you. He can't systematically practice his racism. Is what I'm saying.
Like some stats or something.
And you thought that was racist what he did to you at that tire shop.
At the moment,
You would have saw some real racism at your damn court date.
Of
You would have saw some real racism.
Like I was saying, I had to think
I mean,
it was like, okay, now I just preached it to my child at home.
They would have stacked them
Now
charges on your ass.
how am I gonna wreck right here? Okay, I got to do the same thing I just told him. And I did good. But at the moment, all my flesh was just wanted to. I wanted to.
You would have got charged just because you killed him in front of his son.
But
Because then that'd have been a charge for that because you could have hit him.
I guess what I'm saying
Then it'd have
is
been another.
in a situation like that, I ain't mad at a racist that won't take my money. That's what I'm saying. I ain't mad.
If he told you.
If you made him walk 2 or 3 feet that way, now you done took him hostage.
Let me tell you,
You know what I'm saying? You done kidnapped him.
Now,
They
if
gonna
it
hit you
costs
with
me
that.
money,
That's what I'm saying.
like on a job,
That's what I'm saying.
if he costs me money, I got a problem with it.
Yeah, like say if he'd have put the tire on your truck,
and made it work.
knowing it was bad.
What if he would have told you he don't like your kind?
Exactly.
And put that towel on there and then tighten all the nuts up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Something like that. I stand there and watch you. I make sure you do that job.
But the
I don't
point,
play with
but the point is though, what if you not knowing? That's what I'm saying, like he did you a service by telling you, I just don't mess with you.
you. See, like right now,
So he's not really as racist as he could have been.
Right.
He coulda sabotaged
right
you.
now, I understand why he did. But at that point, everything I was going through that day, I didn't see none of that. All I saw, I need a goddamn towel. I got the money by a goddamn towel. I see a towel on the wall. Put me a goddamn towel in my truck. It's all I saw at that moment. I wasn't thinking about nothing else. So
How much is it,
I just
bro?
had a long day at work,
No,
and I'm
no,
trying
no.
to get home
Take that.
safely. That's all I thought about that moment.
So let me ask you another hypothetical. So hypothetically, let's say you go to the tire shop, it's a black dude, he be like, I don't service your kind.
And I came across something like that.
And he looking for your frat tags. Nah, you ain't got no.
Oh, you got Kappa on your damn tag.
Yeah.
He
And
you know.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna tell you what's
What
worse.
if that
I'm
happened?
tell you what. I'm from Georgia. I got Georgia tag. Anything dealing with Georgia on my stuff. You got Bama. I don't want to deal with you because you ain't no Bama.
Yeah,
fan.
like-
Okay. All right. Whatever. I'll go.
But you wouldn't be mad about that.
But why is
But
that
to
okay?
me, that was just dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
That just dumb.
Okay, so the
But
white
both
man
of
was
them
dumb as
don't. That's
fuck.
what I'm saying. Both of them don't.
At that point, at the point for a white man tell me to my face, I don't treat you kind. So I haven't heard that. That's what I'm saying. That was my first time actually. I have heard people say, all kinds, talk to me.
The shock value.
Yeah,
He shocked the hell out of
yeah.
He took you back to the 60s.
But what he told
Like
me,
Donald Trump gonna do.
what,
took
what
me
he,
back to the
what he
60s.
told me to my face, that was the first time
Man.
I have a white man really tell me, I don't treat your kind. What the fuck? I don't need this right now. I'm just trying to get a tie and go home. See, that's my first time having a real one tell me to my face. I have others that done it behind my back, and I know they racist, but I hear them talking on their breath all the time. But for one that actually told me to my face, that was refreshing.
That's the best kind of racism.
Yeah, that was saying it was
I love
refreshing.
it. I want to go shake his hand.
That's right, just right to my face.
You know what
Give
I'm
it to
saying?
me how
I'm used to the ones
You used to the Democrats.
used to the ones talking behind my back, and I hear you, but I don't.
He ain't hear you.
Now,
He ain't listen.
you
I
could
hear
have
you.
He used to the Democrats.
you could have come to
I'm
my.
used to it.
Hey, look,
You like them kind of racist.
he said some things. You had the right to say some things back to him.
But I
You
just-
could. He told you how you feel about your kind. You could have told him how you feel about his kind.
And then it gonna really escalate.
And no, we've been square. We've been square.
Like a little boy gonna say something else and that gonna make him even madder.
I did the best thing. I said, okay.
Now I would have got
walked
mine
off.
open and
I
bound.
probably would have told him, man, I love white
I
people,
love you, man.
I ain't gonna go that far.
Let's see-
I love your kind so much. I'm willing to
But
pay a little
see,
extra
and
for
see,
that
and see
time.
what's crazy, and I know all of them ain't racist because I got some of my family right now that's white. They love me. That's in my family. I know all of them ain't. It just
They just in the closet, bro.
It was just
Nah,
no.
they hate you, bro. Bro.
I got one as my mama
I'm
right
just
now. I
joking,
got
man.
one as my godmama.
You should have thanked them for exposing itself and tell them that now I'm gonna spread the word.
What's this? I'm
I told everybody.
The word already out.
Exactly. The folk down the street.
Yeah, the word already out.
And
He
he
just
spread
didn't
the
know.
word. He just, you ain't know.
He just didn't
If
know.
all
I'm gonna
already
push
black folk around there, I already know don't go down there.
I'm gonna push it beyond
But
that.
that's what I'm
region.
saying. See, I wasn't from that. I'm
But
not
you gonna be
from
doing him
that
a
side.
favor because he don't want black folk down no way.
But see, I'm not from
So you
that.
done told other black folk he
I
don't
know.
go down. You been helping him out.
I'd have saved them a trip from even going that way though.
But see,
I'd
I'm
have
saying,
saved
I
them a
was
trip.
saying, me not knowing that area at all, I was just like, it's a tire shop and get a tire put on my truck. They got the
What
tire
time
ready.
is it?
That's all I saw. I didn't know nothing about that area.
9:51.
But it was, like I said, it was refreshing now to him talking y'all how to make it seem that he
Well,
told
wait
to
till
my
that 15
face
minutes, didn't it?
versus
I knew it was.
versus
I knew that.
somebody touching behind my back and I hear behind my back sneaking. I go, I can hear behind my back. That's what I was used to. Somebody telling to my face, that was something new to me.
We gotta get out of here, man.
Yeah, you saw how the conversation just jumped. We started somewhere else. And then, yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted to get on these damn women. I wanted to talk about Jack and Crockett too. But I wanted to talk about the women. We do that next time, right?
That'd be a whole other year.
We'll do that again, right? We're gonna see how they respond and we'll see.
Yeah.
You hit that stop button.
Hey.
How